Lord have mercy. Hi. Guys, frankly speaking, I can't even imagine what it feels like to be Dede in that house right now. I can't even imagine. I can't. Because I am sat here as a viewer. I'm watching how things are unfolding in the house. And the major event of last night's shenanigans in Big Brother's house, especially immediately after the diary session, Kola's diary session specifically, was Kola moving mad. Let's just put it that way. Kola was moving mad. This guy was on, hey God. See, this guy was on a smear campaign against Dede. And he was holding a press conference with everybody, like every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every single person that cares to listen to him in the house. As a matter of fact, almost all the housemates. Kola was moving from one person to the other, reporting Dede to him or her, saying that, Big Brother asked me something, I don't know, is she playing with me? They said I'm like Ozo, Dede is Nengi, he was going around, You see the same thing he did early last week when he walked into the house for the first time and demanded a hug from Dede. Dede refused him. And then for the next 2-3 days, he went on a smear campaign against this girl, calling her beauty without brains, calling her slow, calling her dumb, calling her shallow, saying she has no depth, calling her all manner of, I don't know, but just the worst of the worst kind of words you could use to describe a woman that is seen as a bimbo. You see the way he moved in the early days of this season. Ladies and gentlemen, Kola did all of it yesterday evening. And it was just so, it was just so sad. I mean, I understand the game is involved, but it was a lot. And I must give it to him. I must give it to him though, because in his defense, you can say that, okay, his head is in the game. He's trying to defend himself. So he's on the defensive already, whether Dede is playing him or not. Because at the end of the day, in that house, nobody really knows what is really the truth, right? Everybody has trust issues. Even those ones that are forming alliance up and down, those ones that are forming bestie, ship, there are trust issues between them. Yeah? So I could see that Kola was on the defensive. However, my God, this guy was doing the most. Kola was doing the most. I told you all on my previous video where I analyzed the diary session of the 10 housemates that had their diary sessions yesterday. I told you all on that video that during Kola's session, Big Brother had asked him a question when he kept on ranting and complaining about how the housemates perceive him to be a weakling, a sissy, because his way of showing Dede that he cares about her is doing things for her to make her happy, to make her comfortable. So he was nagging about all of those things to Big Brother, and Big Brother asked him a question. Do you feel played? That question, see, from the perspective of I as a viewer and an analyst of the show, that question was like Big Brother injected an anxiety virus into Kola's head. Because right from the diary room, Kola almost went crazy because he did not understand why Big Brother asked him that question, number one. Number two, he was wondering if Big Brother had seen something, because of course Big Brother sees and hears everything, right? So he was wondering if Big Brother had seen something for him to mention it in form of a question. And so he kept on wondering, oh, Big Brother, I'm not sure because she has conversations with other people, so I'm not really sure what she talks about, He was really confused. And he kept on wondering, even right there in the diary room, racking his brains to figure out if Dede was actually playing him, or if he himself felt like he was being played. Because for him, he said he was going to hold on to her actions more than words. That yes, he knows that Dede has told him that she has a serious relationship on the outside, but he cares about her and they have an understanding. Now, you see where Kola used that statement, we have an understanding. That was where I personally started having issues with his submissions in the diary room. Because the moment the guy came out of the diary room, immediately, he ran straight to Ib Fubara for therapy session. And so he was purgating and venting. Like this guy was almost spiraling. Venting and pouring out to Ib Fubara, the therapist, that Big Brother had said XYZ, that it's making him think a lot. He doesn't know what Big Brother means. Could it be that the girl is playing him? And in that moment, you could see that Ib Fubara was struggling to be a professional therapist. And you could tell that in that moment, Ib Fubara was struggling between acting as Kola's professional therapist at that point in time and one of those girls in the house that does not like Dede. Yeah, there's actually a clique of girls and boys in the house that do not like Dede. Doris, Sultana, Sabrina, what's her name now? Gigi, Jasmine sometimes joins them. You see these girls, they don't like Dede. They don't. And they unashamedly, maliciously gossip about Dede and Midday all day, every day. Every time the camera moves to them, they're talking about these girls. We're going to have another video about that. But going back to Ib Fubara joined that clique late last week for want of an alliance in the house. And so in her conversation, or let's call it therapy session with Kola, you could see that she herself, although she was trying to advise him, okay, maybe take a step back, maybe have conversations, asking the right questions, like, okay, Kola, what exactly is the issue? Kola said, the housemates, they are saying a lot of things, they are passing on a lot of speculations, and she was telling Kola, okay, you need to shut it down. You need to set the record straight, because obviously she has told everybody in the house that she has a serious relationship. She does not want a relationship in the house. So whatever people are saying, calling you names for showing care, you need to shut it down. But in as much as she was actually giving the right advice to Kola, you could also see that she was struggling because she had her own bias against Dede that she wanted to so badly voice out. And Kola went on and on, venting. But in all what he was saying, guys, I did not really have a problem with all what he was saying. Where my mind was at was where Kola kept on saying, we have an understanding. He said it in the diary room. And there was a way he said it. He told Big Brother that, he and Dede, they have conversations. And even though she spends almost the whole day with Jason and Koyin, that at night, they have their intimate moments. Kola was using certain words that were quite suggestive that even though Dede says that she does not want a relationship, that she's giving him access to her intimately. And that is wrong. That is wrong. That is diabolical. You could tell that, it just felt like Kola was trying to do all he can to destroy Dede's relationship on the outside. Because this guy kept on saying, we have an understanding. And then he said, Big Brother, I don't think I should be saying this on camera, but yeah, we have an understanding. When she wants to sleep at night, I'm literally by her bedside and we talk and talk. I know what we discuss. And then afterwards, she sleeps and I go to bed. And then he also said that he sleeps on the bed beside Dede's bed. Now, he had his therapy session with Ib Fubara. And then almost afterwards, he had a conversation with Midday. Now, there was something Midday said that made me think twice about her loyalty to Dede as a friend. Now, I'm one of those people that will say that in Big Brother's house, right, especially this season, I'm not too keen on people having loyalties to anybody because everybody came on their own. Nobody came with another person hand in hand and said, okay, come, let's play this game together. No. So for me, loyalty, morally, it's a big deal. But in Big Brother's house, you can't look for it too much because it is hard to find, right? So in the conversation between Kola and Midday, Kola was complaining that, in fact, the same thing. All what he complained to Big Brother, the same thing he complained to Ib Fubara, that was the same thing he was complaining to Midday. And then he was now saying, he doesn't know what to do, that Dede does not give him attention. She makes it look like he's the one, like he is chasing her, like she's not interested. But when they have their conversations, you can tell that she enjoys his company, that he knows that she likes him. But it's like she's spending more time with Jason J and Koyin. So he was now asking, what's her name now, Midday, what he should do. And Midday was like, I even feel sorry for you. I mean, I know that Dede is my friend, but I know that you even like her a lot. I know that you really care about her. I know that you're very genuine. So I'm going to ask you, what do you want to do? And he was like, he doesn't know, that he's just confused, that there's just so many things, And she said, you know what, I'll advise you to give her space. Maybe when she misses your company, she will now realize that she really wants to be around you more. And Kola now said, oh yeah, that's true, that's what he's going to do. That in fact, he's going to stop talking to her from that yesterday evening. So that was what Kola said he was going to do. And once again, in that conversation with Midday, he still mentioned that they have an understanding. Emphasis on understanding. And the way he says it, he makes it look like he and Dede, they are doing some very, very secret, intimate things that Dede does not want everybody to know about. And so she continues to disguise with, I have a serious relationship on the outside. That was what he was doing. Now, he was still having the same conversation, but this time around with Imisi and Joanna. No, is it Joanna? Isabella. Yeah, he had the same conversation with those girls. And you see, Imisi is actually Dede's friend too. Dede calls her Iyawomi, my wife, yeah? So she and Isabella, they told Kola that he should stop talking to Dede. He should stop going to her, that even if she comes to him, he should, play around with her and act like he's not interested before he even shows any form of interest. So he too was like, that he's not going to chase after her anymore, because now, she's not giving the impression that he's the one that is chasing her really hard, that he's not going to do that anymore. So Kola did not stop there. He still took the conversation to Joanna. Yep. He and Joanna, they were discussing something else that Joanna was talking about. That whole Victory and Gigi's situation. And Joanna was just talking about, she doesn't even know what's going on between them. She doesn't want to be in the middle. She doesn't want to be a third party. And before we knew it, Kola brought in Dede's situation with him again. And he was still mentioning this understanding. So he was talking, and then he was still saying that he's not going to talk to her from tonight anymore. That's from yesterday night, that is done. That even though she comes to him, he's going to act like he doesn't, he's not going to go to her anymore. He's not going to make the move anymore. Now, as he was talking, Midday was passing by, and then he quickly called Midday. At that point, they were in front of the camera. They were inside that downfall bus. So the camera was moving and trying to adjust to capture them. And Kola looked up, saw the camera, and you could see him in action. And so he was asking, what's her name now, Midday, that, did you talk to her? Now, by that time, right, because the housemates had a sponsor task, right? So before they went into the arena for the sponsor task, Midday has sat Dede down and had told Dede everything that Kola had told her. Every single detail. Now, Kola had made her promise that she wasn't going to tell Dede certain things, like what Big Brother said. They had gone ahead to tell Dede every single detail of what she and Kola had discussed. Yeah, she had gone ahead to tell Dede everything. But then, Midday had gone ahead to tell Dede everything, although she had omitted the part where she had advised Kola to take a step back and allow Dede to miss him so that she will realize how important he is to her. she omitted that part. But anyways, she went ahead to tell Dede everything. And Dede was quite confused because for her, come on, I told this guy everything. I told him I do not want a relationship. I told him this, I told him that. So what is he talking about? And you know, Dede, oh, I don't care. I don't want to be bothered. But Midday told her, no, you listen. This guy looks like he's going to be liked on the outside. It looks like a lot of people are going to like him. So what he's doing now, he's spinning a false narrative against you. So you need to act fast. You need to have a conversation with him. You need to clear him out. You need to clear this thing so that this thing will die down once and for all. Otherwise, what this guy is doing is dangerous. So Midday advised Dede. Now, as we were having that conversation, the cameras moved away. Okay, I think at some point, Jason J came to sit down with them, but Midday quickly dismissed Jason because the conversation was quite serious because I was just laughing. But Midday was right. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, whilst Kola was out in the garden, telling Joanna all of these things whilst being aware that the cameras was on them, and so he was putting up an act with a lot of activity and body gesticulations. He had seen Midday going or coming out of the house, and he had called Midday and asked for updates. Oh, did you talk to her? What did she say? And Midday had told him everything, that she said she's just tired. This whole thing is emotionally draining. And Kola was like, hey, I know it's emotionally draining. It's also draining for me. But she told me that she doesn't want a relationship. But she spent a lot of time with Jason and Koyin. What does she want me to think? And guys, it was just so tiring. And then Kola was still emphasizing on, we have an understanding. Dede and I, we have an understanding. I'm like, is this guy okay? And so Midday told him that, listen, she said tomorrow she's going to have a conversation with you. But for now, she just wants to rest because she said there were certain things you were doing and she just got tired. You were asking her who gave her slippers, who gave her shoes, like you were being too deep. And Kola was like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Anyways, according to Midday, Dede said she was going to have a conversation with Kola the next day. And you see, yeah, guys, Kola's smear campaign did not end there. Still, it was still moving around talking to people, and then it landed on Bright. Remember, Bright does not even like Dede at all. At all. Because for the first time in the longest time in his life, Midday, or rather Dede, bruised his ego by not hugging him last week Sunday when the guys got into the house. So ever since, Bright has disliked, in fact, completely resented Dede, to the point that even when in his intimate moment with Midday, he's talking to Midday, he still brings conversations about Dede. He's even did it up until yesterday evening. And Dede too, or rather Midday, God, why am I mixing their names? Midday too entertains these conversations. But you see, I can't really even blame her. Because as I said, at the end of the day, it's a competition. Everybody is trying to get ahead in the game. So even though you form a bond with someone, even though you're friends with someone, one way or the other, you will still want to prove to other parties in the house that you are not entirely sold out to just that one friend that you have. That you're also open to forming new alliances. And that is what I perceived that Midday was doing. Every time people bring conversations about Dede and she joins in the conversation, you can tell that she's also trying to protect herself. So, finally, on Kola's smear campaign about Dede, he had a conversation with Bright. He was complaining about the same thing. That, how can you be telling me that you don't want a relationship? Every time you don't want a relationship, but you are spending the whole day with different boys. You're spending the whole day with Koyin and Jason. So Bright was tired of hearing it, and Bright had to ask him, Kola, what do you want? And Kola was like, no, he's not that. He said, no, Kola, what do you want from Dede? What do you want? And Kola said, I think he said attention. And I said, I'm just pissed because she's not giving me attention. How can we have an understanding? Or yes, she told me that she has a relationship outside. But then she said, okay, we are chilled. We are just cool. And I know that we have an understanding. But she's not giving me attention. I was just looking at this guy. I said, let this be some elevated form of acting. Because if this is real, then Kola is delusional. Like, absolutely delusional. Because it's insane. It's insane. The whole world has watched all the different conversations that the cameras are shown us between Dayday and Kola. And every time the cameras are on these two people, Dayday never, ever fails to remind Kola, to reiterate to Kola that, dude, I don't like deep conversations. I don't want to take anything too deep. I have a relationship on the outside. It is very serious. I am committed to that relationship. I'm not going to have any ship in this house. I am not interested. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. I am not going to allow it happen. So if you see me laughing with boys, with people, it's because I just need friends. I'm just trying to make friends. I'm just trying to connect with people. And there's absolutely nothing wrong in that. So listening to the way Kola kept on complaining that, Dede says she doesn't want a sheep, but she's talking to boys in the house. I'm like, dude, I don't understand. What do you expect? So because she says she does not want a sheep, she should only be talking to Midday, that is a girl. She should not have any conversations at all with any guy in the house. How misogynistic can you be, Kola? I mean, Kola, you have a lot of girlfriends that you talk to in the house. You have a lot of guys that you talk to as well in the house. You've balanced your scale. Dede is trying to balance her own scale. Why is it a problem? But as I said at the start of this video, I must give it to him because that guy is really playing a very dirty, manipulative, malicious game against Dede. And I just really hope that Dede is woke to all of these things. I just really hope that she acts really fast and clears Kola, like puts him in his place and calls him out on his bullshit. Otherwise, this narrative that Kola is spinning against her, it's gonna stick. Because everybody knows, because we've seen all of their conversations, but this new angle now that Kola is bringing into the equation, talking about we have an understanding, when in the real sense, they don't have any understanding. No single understanding at all. Kola is just trying to create an impression that, oh yes, Dede is leading me on, she's stringing me along, she's using me, she's treating me badly the way Nengi treated Ozo during the lockdown season. Kola is now really playing into that Ozo script. And he's trying to make it look like he's revolting. He does not want to end up being like Ozo. He does not want to end up getting embarrassed. When all along, his actual problem is that Dede stopped giving him attention. And that is what is eating him up. That is what is killing him. So, another thing is, in all of this, it kind of made me see Kola in another light. And once again, I'm not going to act like I know these housemates from Adam. I'm not going to act like I know these people from home, right? So I'm just going to speak based on what they portray on the show, right? So based on how Kola had reacted before, when Dede had rejected him, and how he was reacting the whole of yesterday because he felt rejected again, because he felt like he wasn't receiving enough attention again from Dede, you can just tell that a guy like Kola, it could go diabolical when a woman he's interested in does not give him what he wants. You can tell that this guy, things could really get dirty and nasty when it seems like he's not getting the so-called attention, according to the way he put it, the attention he deserves. This guy was so entitled. The way he was telling Brighto, the way he was telling Joanna that Dede is not giving him the attention he deserves. And I was looking at this guy and I'm thinking, Papa Lolo, grandfather of the ledge. Sorry, your excellency, sir, sorry. Attention that you deserve. They sent Dede into Big Brother's house to come and shower you with attention, to come and worship you at your feet. Sorry, your highness, sir. The attention that you deserve. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, The game has gotten real, like realer than real. Housemate strategies, they're no longer funny. It's now getting really malicious. And that is what I'm going to discuss on my second video. All right. So watch out for it. But in the meantime, I would love to hear your thoughts about this one. Yeah. What do you think about what Kola is doing? Are you excited for it as game? And what do you think? What do you think Dede should do in this situation? Go ahead, share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video soon. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.